لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا إنه من يهد الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا محمد عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما إخوة الإيمان السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. We give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has brought us here together today being Yom Jumu'ah, today being the 7th day of the month of Rabi in the year 1444 after the hijrah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Mecca to Medina, which is equivalent to the 22nd day of the month of September, year 2023. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has brought us here together, may He accept this our ibadah, may He accept this our worship as an act of ibadah. Today, we're going to continue from where we stopped last week. We were able to discuss about those that are forbidden in Islam, that we are not supposed to marry. We started from Quran chapter 2, verse 220. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned to us that those are the categories of people we must not marry. We explained to us. And we proceeded to discuss about the copulation that's supposed to be ceased in between a legally married man and a woman. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us not to do when our women are in their menstrual cycle. And what's going to be the expiation of whosoever cogitate, whosoever copulate with his wife before she becomes pure. And the kind of substances we should observe if a woman has finished her menstrual cycle. We explained all this to us last week, Juma. In continuation of what we've started discussing, as I've told us that we are going to discuss some verses of the Holy Qur'an in this particular chapter that preceded each other, and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have told us to do and what we are not supposed to do. Biqudratillahi ta'ala, today we are going to talk about what we call Al-Istimnah, which is self-masturbation. And we are going to talk about the anal sex. And we are going to talk about the oral sex. Because the next ayah is going to tell us, or is going to communicate to us about what is being practiced during the Jahiliyyah period, before the emigration of the Muhajirun from Mecca to Medina. And when they got to Medina, they encountered some difficulties when they started marrying the Ansariya. So what happened? Reason why we are going to discuss some peculiar social vices that we've started experiencing, which were not even experienced during the Jahiliyyah period. We are going to be discussing them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir rahmanir rahim, Qad aflaha al-mu'minun, alladhina hum fi salatihim khashi'un, walladhina hum 'anil lagwi mu'ridun, والذين هم لزكاتهم فاعلون والذين هم لفروجهم حافظون إلا على أزواجهم أو ما ملكت أيمانهم فإنهم غير ملومين فمن ابتغى وراء ذلك فأولئك هم العادون والذين هم لأماناتهم وعهدهم راعون والذين هم على صلواتهم يحافظون أولئك هم الوارثون الذين يرثون الفردوس هم فيها خالدون. صدق الله العظيم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, but we can't understand what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informed us in the Holy Qur'an except we understand the hadith. We can't understand the hadith if we don't understand the ayatul Qur'an, the verses of the Holy Qur'an. So if we are in a state of ambiguity in these two scriptures, we can now understand from the righteous scholars, either from the companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam or from the tabi'i or the tabi'un, that now cascaded down to some of our noble or notable scholars that we have in this our own era. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Qad aflaha al-mu'minun, those that we can call the believers. Those that we can call the believers. And who is a believer? It is the person that have totally submitted himself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He believes in what is seen and what is unseen. And will be practicing the deen of Islam wherever anybody is seeing him and wherever anybody is not seeing him. He will submit all the whims and caprices to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. وَلَا تُشْرِكْ بِهِ شَيْئًا, and will not associate any apostasy to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are the categories of people that we can call a mu'min or mu'minun. The person that believes openly and that believes hidden secretly. Allah said this category of people called the afla. They have gained my reward. They have been liberated. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said their own return is going to be into the abode of Al-Jannah. Alladhina hum fi salatihim khashi'un. Those that we are saying that they are believers, they are those that are conscious of their prayers. As we have gathered here now, in anticipation of observing our Salatul Jum'ah, it is the consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that has sent a message to our cerebrum that yes, it's time we should go to masjid to go and do what? Observe our Salatul Jum'ah. Not only Salatul Jum'ah, our daily Khamsu Salawat. How are we performing it? Is it according to the dictate of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and that of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Those that are observing all this, they are the ones we can call al-mu'minun. Alladhina hum fi salatihim khashi'un. They will be so conscious because they don't know the next action that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to take against them in the next minute. Walladhina hum anil lagwi mu'ridun. Whenever people around them are uttering vain languages, vain talks, mu'ridun, they will distance themselves away from those kind of people. And they themselves, they will not be uttering vain languages, vain talks. They will never be doing that. Wherever they are in a gathering, at an assembly ground, and they discover that all what people are saying there, they are more or less social vices, they will distance themselves away from them. These are the category of people that belong to the phylum of whom? Al-Mu'minun. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِزَكَاتٍ فَاعِلُونَ. Those among them that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had blessed with wealth, they will be paying their own tithe, which we know as zakat. We have discussed zakat and the categories of people we are supposed to give zakat. You that you are working in class, you have a source of income, you are not entitled to zakat. We have explained this extensively. Those that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah, that these are the categories of the 8 categories of people that we should give zakat. We have mentioned them. So those of you that yearly somebody is giving you from his foundation, is giving you zakat, and you are working for him, you are not entitled to collect that zakat. I've elaborately discussed this to you. So if you are collecting it, I advise you to tell them, maybe next year if they are giving the zakat, you should say you are not entitled. Do you know the meaning of zakat? It is the dirty that is inside somebody's wealth that is given out. To the extent that you see some man, they will even be go and be knocking on some rich man's house that we have not seen your hand, indicating that they have not gotten the zakat. The zakat is the filthy that is in the wealth that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you. So it's not something we should even go and ask. The people that can ask are the destitute. So the people we can call the conscious ones, the ones we can call the believers, are those that are doing what? They are paying their zakat as at when due. The 5th category of people that Allah said they are believers are وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ. Those that are guiding their chaste, they are protecting their what? Their chastity. And this is where we are coming. They are protecting their chastity. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ. They don't allow anybody to go around what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to them as a custody. What Allah kept with them in their custody. They don't allow anybody to go there anyhow, either the male or the female. Illa ala azwajihim aw ma malakati aymanihim. They can only relate with their wives or those that they are slaves that they are entitled to. That is the people they can share their private organs with. Those that are under their command, that yes, they are answerable to them. Those are the mamalakati aymanuhum. Apart from their wife, the legally married wife is entitled to her husband's parts. Those that are under them, like slaves, that they have authority over, those ones too, they can have access to their, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Holy Qur'an. If they take care of all these categories of people, they have not gone outside the context of or the boundary of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah now put a clause. فَمَنِ ابْتَغَى وَرَاءَ ذَلِكَ. Whoever go beyond the limit, that apart from your legally married wife, apart from the mamalakati aymanuhum, those that are slaves under you, that you have right over. If you go outside this fold and you now started having side chicks and side chickens, Allah said, whoever amongst you that have done that, that person has gone beyond the boundary. For ulaika umul adun. Those categories of people that went outside the boundaries of their wife and the slave under them, they have gone beyond the boundary limit of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah said, yes, I will be ready for them. Now, for the young males among us, or the adults that are even married among us, that they are away from this category of people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mentioned, either their wives or the slaves under their authority, under their watch. Now they need a service. They need somebody to render a service to them, but nobody, and they don't want to go beyond the limit of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They don't want to perform adultery. They don't want to fornicate. Can they masturbate? Brothers, what do we mean by masturbation? In Islam, we have different kinds of permissibilities. That if you can't do this, you can do the next option. Now your wife is not around you. Your slave is not around you. Can a man start touching his front for him to get released? Islamically, we have three categories of judgment we can pass. Number one is what we call haram. Number two is what we call makruh. Number three is what we call mubah in the field of Islamic jurisprudence. What we call haram is totally condemned. It doesn't have any other option. It's totally condemned. What you call makruh is something that you do, but it's not haram, but you are not supposed to do it. Mubah is something that is not disliked. You can do it, you will not be penalized for it, but you are not going to have reward for it. I hope you understood the three concepts. Now, which category did masturbation now fall into? Al-Istimnah. Imam Shafii radiallahu ta'ala anhu said that masturbation for a man to hold his front just to get released is makruh. It's something that it is disliked. It's not haram, because we are going to see why it's not haram is under some school of thought. Some see generally it is haram, but we are going to hear from some tabi'i and tabi'un and even some sahabas, those that served with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that they gave their own opinion that this thing If you do it, you have not sinned against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but you are not supposed to do it. But if you do it to relieve yourself, you have not committed any sin. Imam Shafii, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, said, we can only say it is haram if we follow the ayah of Quran that says, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ. If you have protected your chastity very well, you fall into the category of people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said they are mu'min. But if you didn't protect it, you are not throwing it up and down, that means you have committed something that we call haram. Imam Shafii said that. So also, some tabi'i said, like a tabi'i we call ata, a tabi'i is the people that did not meet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but they met the Sahaba. Those that came after the Sahaba are the tabi'un. Those that came after those that met the Sahaba are the tabi'un. That is the third category. The Sahaba are the first category. The tabi'i are the second category. The tabi'un are the third category. Me and you, which category do you belong to? So these are the people we'll be making reference to, especially the companions that sat with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and they saw him how he did it, and the fatwa he passed, the judgment he passed on each aspect of the religion. Ata was a tabi. He met the Sahaba, but he never met Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Said masturbation is an act that is disliked. That if you do it, you have not done anything that is classified as haram, but it is an activity that should be disliked, that you should not do it. That is ata. Mujahid was also a tabi'i. Said that if you do it with the intention of not committing adultery, of not committing zina, there is nothing wrong about it. I hope you are following me with the stand of each of these righteous. Jabir ibn Zayd, he was also a tabi'i, those that met the Sahabas, but they didn't meet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Tabi ibn Zayd, Jabir ibn Zayd said, you have not done anything wrong, because it is a fluid that is in your system that you want to release to get yourself relief. That is what is. This is what Jabir ibn Zayd said. That is another tabi'i that is well known, called Al-Hasan al-Basri. Hasan al-Basri. He was the one that the Sufis used to claim that brought Salatul Fatih for them. That one very day, Hasan al-Basri slept. So in his dream, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam now revealed Salatul Fatih for him. Wallahu ta'ala alam. But Hasan al-Basri was a righteous tabi'i that met the Sahaba. He said, during their own time, that if they've gone on a long journey and they didn't come back on time, when they become turgid, when their body becomes turgid, those of you that did their biology, there is something we call turgidity. When their body becomes turgid, they used to relieve themselves, they used to masturbate themselves. So they never see it as something that is what? That is haram. But it is what? It is makruh. It is disliked. But it might get to a state that you will now become mubah. Something that we need to do. That is the point, or that is the stand where Al-Hasan al-Basri stands. But brothers, to let us have a clear or a unique stand, what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us to do is that whenever you know you are mature and you know you have the intention of getting married, lillahi wa rasuli, because getting married is part of what? It's part of our deen. But you don't have the resources to get settled, but the heart is in you. What you're supposed to be doing is what? Is to be fasting. That's what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us to do. So that we can do away with the issue of this what? Of this masturbation. So where we are also going to stand is that we are going to say that masturbation is not haram. Masturbation is makruh, and circumstances can lead you to be what? Mubah. We should not be too rigid on some fundamentals of Islam, because you might get to a place that you can't help yourself other than to do it. If you don't do it, it will lead you to what? Adultery or fornication. So for us to have a kind of leverage is for us to what? To say it is makruh, but a circumstance can lead you to be what? To be mubah. But it's not, in totality, it's not what? It's not haram. Wallahu ta'ala alam. According to what we read, not a fatwa that I'm giving. So I've given us what Imam Shafii said and what the Tabi and Tabi'un they all say. Now, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when they got to Mecca, when they got to Medina, they have a way that the Quraysh used to use to copulate with their women. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ensured that each particular group of people, they had their ways of living, their ways of life. That is what we mean by culture. Culture, by definition, is the way of life of people of a particular habit, of particular habitation. Habitation is where people settle, right? So the particular group of people, they have their own way of life. So the Quraysh of Mecca, they have the way, or they have a way that they used to use to copulate with their women. The people of Medina, they were enlightened. They see the Jews, the Yahudi, as enlightened people. So the Ansari, before they become the Ansar, they used to emulate the Jews. Because the Jews, they are settlers of what? Of Medina. They are settlers of Yesrib. I hope you are following me. So the people of Medina, they used to learn from the Jews, because they see them as people that have traveled around. So they have brought enlightenment to them. So when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam got to Medina with the people of Mecca, the Muajirun, right? The way they used to copulate with their women in Mecca is called tajbiha. What is that? Tajbiha. That is the way they used to copulate with their women. And what do you mean by tajbiha? It's for a woman to prostrate as if she wants to do sujood. You know the way we used to sujood while we are praying. And for a legally married husband to now be copulating with her from the back. There are plenty holes in a woman. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to go to the right hole. It can either be from the front or either from the back. But we have two holes that is very familiar to every one of us. We are the one in the front and the one in the back. But the Muhajirun, they used to copulate with their women from the back to the front. That is what we mean by tajbiha. Not where she used to do the poo-poo, not from there. Not the normal anal sex. That one is in totality forbidden in Islam. But from the back to the front, the Muajirun used to copulate with their women. And that is what we call tajbiha. So when they got to Medina and they started marrying the Ansariyat find it very difficult to relate with the Muajirun that are marrying them, because they are not used to that. What they know how to do is for their husband to meet with them sideways, or they lay their backs on the ground. That is how they know how to copulate with their husbands of Medina. But the way the husbands of Mecca knew how to copulate with their women is through tajbiha, to copulate with them from the back and penetrate them to the front. not through their anus. So when they started having misunderstanding, a woman now went to one of the wives of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam called Salama, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has numbers of wives, which we have discussed when we were talking about the Ummatul Mu'minin. How many were they? So they started having issues with their women. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now revealed unto Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that Nisa'ukum harisul lakum fa'atu arisakum annashitum. That your women, they are your tilts, they are your gardens, they are your farm. Fa'atu arisakum annashitum. You should tilt your garden, you should tilt your farm, you should tilt your women, annashitum, the way you feel is comfortable for you. And one very day, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was not at home. So a woman of the Ansar that had issue with her husband over the night now went to the house of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with the intention of going to go and report to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam because she denied her husband. And any woman that denies her husband when the husband is ready for her, that denied him to enter with her, the angels, the jinns, and the creatures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, including the fishes in the ocean, they will be cursing that woman from night to the dawn. Any woman that denies her husband over the night, legally married husband, I'm not talking of the side chicks. I'm not talking about the haram women that majority kept in their various homes, that are even producing for them without any mahar on them. I said it last week, that any woman that you keep in your house, that start bearing children for you, and you have not made the completion of the vow that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to do, whatever is transpiring between you and her is zina. And I said, a Muslim woman who marry a non-Muslim man, and she is there, all the bride price or whatever is being paid over her, that woman, she is just there observing zina. She is a Muslim, but whatever she produced for that man, they are all children of zina. That's where we are going to classify them to. The only thing that can turn her to a kafir is when she go outside the context of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, challenging the authority of Allah. But she's a Muslim. She can, even she's observing her Hamsu Salawat, she's going for Hajj, she's observing her Ramadan, doing all the ibadat. But whatever is transpiring between her and that husband, so-called husband, is zina. The children will be named Awlad zina. And reason why Allah said, Wala tunkihul mushrikati hatta yu'minna. All this I've explained extensively last week. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was not at home. A companion called Abdullah ibn Basit said he went to go and meet Hafsa. This Hafsa wasn't the wife of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, we have Hafsa. We have the first wife was whom? Sayyidatuna Khadija bint Khuwaylid. The second one was Sauda, the old woman that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam married. The third one was Sayyidatuna Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha, the youngest among them, and she was the only virgin. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not allow her to bear the fruit of the womb. The fourth one was Hafsa, the daughter of Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anha. It's not that Hafsa that I'm referring to here. You see, Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anha, his first wife did not accept Islam. That was the mother of Maimuna. Maimuna was his first daughter before Aisha. Aisha now has a younger brother called Abdurrahman. Abdurrahman, through his wife, Allah now blessed Abdurrahman with Hafsa. So that Hafsa now became what? The granddaughter of Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu jami'a. So it is this Hafsa that Abdullah ibn Basit now went to meet. It is the hadith that I want to read to us now. Concerning how the Muhajirun are meeting their women, which became a chaos for the Ansariyat in Medina. Abdullah ibn Basit said, Dahaltu ala Hafsa binti Abdurrahman binti Abu Bakr, which I have explained. Faqalat, he now said, Inni lasailuki, I want to ask you an amri concerning a matter, wa inni astahi an as'alaki, but I'm very bashful to ask you. This matter I want to ask you about, I'm very bashful, I'm shameful to ask you. You know, it's Abdullah ibn Basit that went to go and meet Hafsa, the granddaughter of whom? Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu. That I want to ask you about a question, but I'm very bashful to ask you because it's so sensitive. A man going to a woman to ask her. So Hafsa now told him, Fala tasta, ya ibn Hayy. Oh, my brother, don't be too bashful. Be free to me. How many of our women today are so conscious of themselves, are so bashful, are so shameful of the environment they find themselves? You see, majority of our Muslim women, they are so loose. In the masjid, they are loose. In their practices of work, they are loose. That you'll be talking to a sister, an adult. Sister, you are a Muslim, we used to pray together every time. You are not supposed to be shaking that. Even Abdurrahman in the office, you are not supposed to shake him. Not talk of Chinedu. You are not supposed to shake your muhrim, a Muslim, not talk of somebody that does not believe in what you believe. You can see. Abdullah ibn Basit said, I'm bashful to ask her. So Hafsa now told him, Fala tasta, don't be too bashful. Yabna Adi, oh my brother. Call her. He now told her, I want to ask you, Al-Itiyad nisa fi adibari inna. I want to ask you concerning copulating with a woman from the back. Hafsa now said, now replied to him, to whom? To Abdullah ibn Basit. Hadassatni Ummu Salama an Ansar kanu yajubuna. He said, Ummu Salama, who was the wife of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, told her. Ummu Salama told who? Told Hafsa. Hafsa is now relating to whom? Abdullah ibn Basit. Concerning what? How the Quraysh, the Muhajirun, the people of Mecca used to copulate with their women from the back. I've explained to us how it's been done. And it is called what? Tajbiha. So, Salama explained to Hafsa. Hafsa now explained to Abdullah ibn Basit. He now said, Annal Ansara, that the Ansar, Kanu yajubuna nisa, wakanat Yahud, that the Jews in Medina used to say unto, or used to mention to, or used to communicate to, or used to discuss with the Ansar, the people of Medina, that whomever his husband copulate with her from the back, what will happen to the sight of the child is what I want to mention to us now. Salama is telling us that the Ansar in Medina used to tell them that the Jews, I told us at the inception that the people of Medina, they became civilized by the enlightenment, or from the enlightenment of the Jews, of the Yahudi of Medina. And I've told us, we have three settlers of Yahudis, of the Jews in Medina. We have the Banu Qurayza, we have the Banu Kainuka, and we have the Banu Nadir. These are the three types of Yahudis, of the Jews that settle in where? That settle in Medina. I will tell us where the Yahudi came from, because they are settlers. So these people, they are the ones that are now like civilized the Medina citizens. So the Jews used to tell the Medina citizens, the Ansar, that whomever are husband among the females, whomever are husband copulate with her from the back, the eyes or the sight of the baby is going to turn to Awwal. What do you call Awwal? Not Awwal. Awwal means it's going to have a crossed eye. A crossed eye. If he's looking in this direction, he's looking at angle 270 degrees. That is sight. We turn upside down. Like the one Yoruba people, the Yoruba people used to say, I will buy the bed in warrior. That is what we call Awwal. That the eye, if he's looking in this angle 180, he's already looking at 275 degrees. So the Jews had already programmed this into the brain of the people of Medina. And that is the style that the people of Mecca used to use to copulate with their own women. Now they are now in Medina. They are marrying from the Ansar. So the Ansar, they are now doing what? They are finding it difficult. And they already have something in their brain. That whomever our husband copulate with her from the back. I've told us where you're supposed to go at the back. Not the anus. They copulate from the back, but penetrate in the front. It is very easy for the what? For the Muhajirun. But it's difficult for the Ansariyat in Medina. So this question now came. So Salama is now relating it to whom? To Hafsa. Hafsa is now relating it to who? Abdullah ibn Basit. Radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma jami'a. They now said that innahu man uiba imra'atahu kanat waladuhu awwal. That whoever whoever his husband or our husband copulate with her from the back, the sight, the eyes of the baby will be crossed. It's going to be a crossed eye. فَلَمَا قَدَمَ الْمُعَاجِرُونَ الْمَدِينَةِ. When the Muhajirun came to Medina, نَكَوُوا فِي النِّسَاءِ الْأَنصَارِ. They started marrying the females of the Ansar. فَجَبَّعُونَ. And they started copulating with them from the back. فَأَبَتْ إِمْرَأَةٍ أَنْ تُطِيعَ زَوْجِهَا. So one of the women of the Ansariyat, among the Ansariyat, now declined from the advances of her husband because they are not used to that style. Waqalat, she now said, "Lan taf'alu dhalika." I will never accept you. I won't allow you to copulate with me hatta ati Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, until I go and meet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to ask about this kind of situation. This woman, this Ansariyat, that declined from the advances of her husband, she now went to the house of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She now met Salama. You know, I've been mentioning Salama. فَدَخَلْتُ عَلَى Salama فَذَكَرْتُ لَهَا ذَلِكَ. She now mentioned this incident to Salama. فَقَالَتْ. Salama now told her, "Ijlisi hatta ya'tiya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam." That, oh, you this Ansariyat, you this woman that came unto me, sit down until when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes in. فَلَمَا جَاءَ Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam now arrived from his outing, Istahayat al-Ansariya, that female Ansariya, she started to become bashful. She can't stand in front of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and be telling Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam what transpired between her and her husband. But she had already mentioned to who? Salama as a woman. Brothers, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us in an authentic hadith, any man and woman shared whatever private incidents that happened between him and his wife and shared it to the third party, he will never receive the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from this world to the hereafter. Even if your wife doesn't know how to satisfy you sexually, it's supposed to be a clandestine issue, a secretive issue between you and her. If you know that you are a 1 minute man, and she is 5 hours woman that needs you to service her for 5 hours, you don't have that strength. Go and look for a kind of woman that will be okay with your 1 minute. If you are a man that you used to ejaculate immediately or quickly, there are some people Nabawi, prophetic medicine, that can use to take care of yourself. I'm not talking about all these under 20, under 15 children. I'm talking to elders now. Those that are matured among us. Because this type of discussion is a very sensitive discussion that is not meant for children. It's meant for adults. But there are some things we don't need to shy away from. We must discuss it. But a boundary line must be drawn. So what I'm discussing with us today is for the sensitive, is for the matured men among us. Those that are married and those that are yet to marry, and those that we are asking them that they should go and marry. They should go and marry so that they can enjoy this discussion that we are discussing. And those that want to do masina. So this woman, immediately Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came in. She stood up because she was bashful. That I can't withstand Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and be telling him my private affair. So she had already told Salama, the wife of Rasul. So indirectly she has told who? She has told Rasul. So Salama radiallahu ta'ala anha now said to her husband that, oh my husband, this Ansariya that came, this is the discussion she brought to me, but she is so bashful of you. She can't stand in front of you. Brothers, especially you the Yorubawas, you the Yoruba people. Our women are so loose to the extent that some of them in front of their malam, especially those that we say they are going for a salatu, or those that wants to go and seek for counseling or whatever from one malam. You see them how loose, how tattered they be in front of the malam. Islamically, what is good for us? If you are guiding women, if they are not knowledgeable, the malam should teach one among them, maybe his wife, to go and stand in front of them. And if malam is supposed to be there, if it is binding on him to be there, you either put your wife beside you. It's not permissible in Islam that an alim should go and sit in the midst of women that are forbidden for him to see their face or to talk to them. But every one of us will be claiming it is the society that has got this. But this is not going to be hujjah for us on the day of Qiyamah. So if you are talking about the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it should not be compromised. So the woman was so bashful that she had to exit herself from the house of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam because she can't stand. So Salama now told Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam that this is the discussion that this woman, this Ansariya came to discuss with me, that her husband wants to copulate with her from the back and penetrate her in the front. But she denied, she declined, that we are not experienced. We don't know anything about this tajbiha. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam now instructed Salama, go and call her. Idiuha, go and call her for me. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam now sat her down. Not only him, with his wife, Salama. You know, he has been covered with security of his wife now. Shaitan will not be able to penetrate Rasulullah, despite the fact that Huwa Ma'azum, he has a divine immunity in him. Shaitan cannot do anything with him. Not like me and you. You see some people, just sighting a woman like this, they will be releasing in their body. Some people will not release, but as soon as he sights a woman, the fitna Shaitan will be doing waswas in his mind. If he's praying, he will lose concentration on that prayer. All his mind will be in front of that chinery that he has seen on the road. This is where every time we should continue to be doing tazkiyah. There is nobody Shaitan cannot have power over him or her. It is you that you not allow him to overpower you. By doing a lot of istighfar, by doing a lot of ta'lilat, by doing a lot of askar. This is where we are going to conquer Shaitan. And where you will be sitting. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam now said they should call her. They now called her, they brought her in. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked her to sit down. When she now sat down, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam now recited that verse. Nisa'ukum harisu lakum fa'atu arisakum annashitum. That is the sababun nuzul of that verse. Quran chapter 2, verse 224. That Nisa'ukum, your women, harisu lakum, they are your farm, you can till them. Fa'atu arisakum annashitum. you can kill them anyhow. That means you can enter them anyhow you want to enter, but on one condition. So maman wa'idan, you must enter to either from the back or from the front. You must enter to the place that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you to enter. So brothers, wholeheartedly and distinctively, we have known that anal sex is haram in Islam. This one is not makruhu and it's not mubaha. This one is total what? Haram. And that was the practice that some people among the people of Nabiuna Lut alayhi salamullah practice. Brothers, if anybody commits zina, what are we supposed to do for him? We should lash that person 100 strokes of blala, right? That is, if it is not somebody that has married. If it's somebody that has married and we have clear evidence of 4 people, right? And these people are just people, because the 4 people, they must satisfy some kind of criteria. If we confirm that yes, these 4 people have made them in the same condition or what that as Fiqhul Islami has stated for us, those 2 people, we are to do what? We are to pelt them till death. Those that do liwat is having anal sex that they practice during the time of Nabiuna Lut. If we are in an Islamic society, in an Islamic state, in an Islamic country where Sharia is being used, not political Sharia, where the sincere Sharia is being implemented, is being executed, is being practiced, that can the category of those people that are practicing liwat, anal sex, anyone that is being caught will be taken, because that sin is more grievous than ordinary adultery. That particular person will be taken to on top of mountain. Some pebbles of stones will be we are going to bake them the way we bake bread in the oven. We will bake those stones. You know the stone that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to destroy Ashabul Fil, Tarmihim bi ijaratin min sijilli. Right? Those stones, they were stones that were brought from where? From Jahannama. So the stone we are going to use to pelt the person that practiced liwat, anal sex. After taking him to the top of a mountain, we are now going to push him so that he will not fall down. Before he gets down, he will have died. So those stones that we have baked inside fire, we are not going to be using those stones to stone him. Despite the fact that he must have died before he gets to the bottom of the mountain. This is the punishment for those that are practicing what? Anal sex. Al-Liwat. Liwat that we now turn to just ordinary pure water now. You see a male copulating with a male. Those are the gays. You see women sleeping with each other. Those are the lesbians. Practicing lesbianism. Homosexualism. All these are the judgment that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said we should pass on them. So it's not something you can just take with a flexible hand. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you this Ansariya, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this unto us as far as is somaman wa'idan. As far as where your husband will go through in the front, as far as that is where it's going to penetrate from the back, no problem about that. So brothers, if you are hearing it for the first time, and those of you that you are legally married, you can practice from the back with your women. But it must be what? Somaman wa'idan. The same place you have to penetrate it from the front is the same place you must penetrate from the back. Kama qala Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Nafi used to be a slave, a mawla of Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala alayhi. Abdullah ibn Umar was the son of Umar ibn Khattab. As I mentioned about Abdurrahman, the son of Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala. Now I want to talk of Abdullah ibn Umar. Abdullah ibn Umar used to have a slave called Nafi al-Mawla. Mawla Abdullah ibn Umar. This nephew was a very knowledgeable servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the people of Medina started clamoring up and down that nephew has legalized meeting women from the back without their proper understanding of what the context of that ayah is. Call on the nephew, Mawla ibn Umar. People were saying up and down in the community that nephew what? Inna qad aksara alayka al-qawl, that you, nephew, you have said, Annaka taqulu an Ibn Umar, that you related from Ibn Umar. They are quoting nephew now, that nephew said that his master, Abdullah Ibn Umar, said. They are not quoting Abdullah directly. They are quoting Umar. That Umar said, that nephew said, Abdullah Ibn Umar, his master, said. You see, this nephew, he was among the teacher of Imam Malik. You can see his level. Imam Malik, that me and you, we are following his path in West Africa. We are Malikiya. Right? We are not worshipping Imam Malik the way we can't worship Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, I told us something last week. If anybody mention you are slaughtering an animal, you now mention the name of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Instead of being Bismillah Allahu Akbar, you now mention the name of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We should not eat that animal. It's forbidden. Now talk of somebody mention Jesus Christ. Mentioning the name of Rasul, you must not eat it. You can only mention the name of whom? Allahu Jalla Jalali. And what are you supposed to say? Bismillahi Allahu Akbar. Nephew was among the teachers of Imam Malik radiallahu ta'ala anhu. He now said that innahu, after that nephew said that one very day, my master, who was whom? Abdullah ibn Umar, one day that he was giving a fatwa, and tuta nisaa fi adbarihinna, that his mother said we can copulate with our women from the back. How we are following me? Yes. Nephew said that his master said we can copulate with a woman from the back. This was the news that the people in Medina were carrying up and down without understanding the context. That's why I keep telling us that it's not I can read Quran, I understand English, or you go to Google and go and be browsing and be picking the ayat of Quran in which you don't even know the sababun nuzul. That is not an alim. The knowledge of Quran is beyond you just going to go and pick one verse from the Google and start telling people. Because it will have the sababun nuzul. And you understanding Arabic. Arabic is just like a language. What I'm using to communicate to you now is a language. English language. Right? That is what Arabic is. Arabic is not Quran. We only have the privilege that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was an Arab. And Allah now honor him to reveal Quran with what? With Arabic. So if you don't understand Arabic, doesn't mean you won't enter Al-Jannah. But it is good for us to know it so that we can understand the context of Quran. So if you don't understand Arabic, you can't interpret Al-Quran. And I've told us when we started discussing about Sirah, we have different categories of Arab, which I have mentioned to us maybe like 7-8 weeks ago. So these people, they didn't understand the fatwa that Abdullah ibn Umar gave. So they started misquoting him all around. So nephew now wants to clarify himself, because anytime Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, in ja'akum fasikum bin naba'i fatabayyanu. If they see anything that is not your own, raise alarm that, oh, all these lies that you have fabricated upon me is not mine. If a man comes out and give fatwa, and there is a misconception about the fatwa, the malam should come back and tell them that you people have misunderstood me. This is what I mean. So nephew, the student, the servant of Abdullah ibn Umar now said he was with his master one very day that he was giving a fatwa concerning copulating with a woman from the back. He now said, Kazabu alayya. You know, I said it is the community people that were clamoring up and down that nephew have given the verdict that we can be copulating with our woman. So nephew now said, Kazabu alayya. You people that you are running up and down the community, you are just tarnishing my image. Kazabu alayya. You have fabricated lies over me. You are just flabbergasting yourself. All what you have said is a lie, is a fallacy. If you don't understand, Fasalu ala zikiri in kuntum la ta'lamun. Quran has split it out for us, has spelled it out for us. That Fasalu ala zikir. Go and ask those that know. In kuntum la ta'lamun. If you don't know, go and ask. So if a malam says something, before we keep on spreading it up and down, we should go and ask, Malam, okay, I came at the later part of your lecture. Oh, I don't really understand. I was there at the inception of the lecture, but I don't understand all what you said. Before you going around to go and be misquoting the Malam. Nephew now said, Kazabu alayya. All what they have said, they only fabricated lies against me. Walakin, but you people, if you are ready, Sawadisuk, come and listen. I will tell you how it was. Kaifa kana al-amr, how the issue was. So if they rope you with anything, and you know you are innocent of whatever you are being roped with, it's better you come out plain. Go and explain yourself. Even if they are going to kill you there, explain yourself. Tell them they should allow you to talk. That is what nephew did to the people that created pandemonium around. He now said, Inna ibn Umar, that my master, Abdullah ibn Umar, Arad al-Mus'af, he was reading Mus'af. What I told us is Mus'af was what? Al-Qur'an al-Karim. Quran has different kind of names. So part of his name is what? Al-Mus'af. Inna ibn Umar, Abdullah ibn Umar, Arada, Urid al-Mus'af. He was reading the Quran, Yawman, one very day. Wa anna indahu, and I was with him. Atta balaga, until he get to this particular ayah, Nisaukum arisul lakum, fatu arisakum annashitum. He said I was with my master, Abdullah ibn Umar. When my master was reading Quran, I was beside him. So when he now got to this particular verse that Nisaukum, your women, arisul lakum, they are your farm, they are your garden, you can till them. Fatu arisakum annashitum. You can till them anyhow you want to till them. That doesn't mean that you should misbehave with your wife. You know, I told us the sensitivity of this particular verse. Doesn't mean that when you get to your house now, you start going to be misbehaving with your woman. No, please, you should get it very right. Atu arisakum annashitum. Not that because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has relaxed his authority over us, that do whatever you like, you should not go and be misbehaving. From the first hadith, you know, I told us it was Somaman Wa'idan. You should penetrate your woman from the back, but to what? To the same place you penetrate if you are in the front. Nephew now said, when my master got to this ayah, he now said, Ya nephew, oh nephew, Atalamu min amri azil ayah, do you really understand, or do you know the intention, or do you know the meaning of this ayah? Fakultu lahu la. He now told him that, no, I don't understand. Qala, Abdullah ibn Umar now said, Inna kunna ma'ashara Quraysh. You know they are in Medina. Abdullah ibn Umar now told nephew, his servant, that we are the Quraysh, that we are Mu'ajirun, people from Mecca. Nujabin Nisa. We used to do tajbiha for our women. I've explained what tajbiha is for us. And tajbiha, for those of us that we just come, tajbiha is for a woman to lie down on her knees and place her head on the ground as if we are doing sujood, we are in prayer, right? And for our husband to now penetrate her from the back to the place that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had ordained us to penetrate. You know, we have discussed the anal sex and it has been nullified. So, Abdullah ibn Umar told nephew Ismaila that we the Quraysh, the way we used to copulate with our women in Mecca used to be through what? Through tajbiha. فَلَمَا دَخَلْنَا الْمَدِينَةِ. When we now got to Medina, وَنَكَانَ النِّسَاءَ الْأَنصَارِ, and we married the females, the women of the Ansar. أَرَدْنَا مِنْهُمْ مِثْلَ مَا كُنَّا نُرِيدُ. We now try to practice what we used to do with our women from Mecca. فَإِذَا هُنَا قَدْ كَرِهْنَا ذَلِكَ. But unfortunately, they denied us. Using this style on them, they deny us that they won't allow us to do this style. وَأَزَمْنَاهُ. This attitude or this declarance now became something of a magnitude that nobody can withstand, because it became something that everybody was now clamoring that what kind of style is this? And you know, I've told us the Jews in Medina, they've already brainwashed the Ansar before the arrival of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because they are seeing them as a role model. That is why me and you, whomever want to choose as a role model, should be the person that is on the path of Allah and that of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And if it is in our place of work, it is the boss or the leader that is guiding us on the right path. Not the one that is bossy. Not the one that will be teaching you how to change 1 to 10. You'll be changing 10 and add that extra 0. Just add ordinary 1 0. Not that kind of person you should emulate, especially as we claim to be mu'minun. Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala now said, this issue became an issue of magnanimity, that everybody is now talking about this issue. وَكَانَتِ النِّسَاءُ أَنصَارَ قَدْ أَحْسِنَ بِأَهْلِ الْيَهُودِ. As I've said, that these females from the Ansar, they believe in the way that the Jews are practicing their life. إِنَّمَا يُؤْتِينَ عَلَى جُيُوبِهِنَّ. We used to want to sleep with our women the way we used to sleep with the women of the Mecca. But the women of the Ansar, they find it very difficult. فَأَنزَلَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى فِي هَذِهِ الْآيَةِ نِسَاؤُكُمْ حَرِثٌ لَكُمْ فَأْتُوا حَرِثَكُمْ أَنَّىٰ شِئْتُمْ. Abdullah ibn Umar now told nephew, his servant, that because of that incident, because of that declarance, because of that denial, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now revealed this verse that your women, they are your gardens, they are your farms, you can till them, أَنَّىٰ شِئْتُمْ, anyhow you want. وَهَذَا is not the Saheed. And this is an authentic hadith that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made us to understand that copulating with a woman from the back to the front is not something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made an haram for us. As far as it is what? Somaman wa'idan. The place you are supposed to go through from the front, you are going through the back and get to that same front. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not make it haram for us, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not make it haram for us. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us again that Adatanana Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this Sahaba called Huzaymah ibn Saheed said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told them, Istayu, you people should be bashful, you people should have shame. Inna Allah la yastahi min al-haq. Allah is not bashful about hiding the truth. Allah is ready to tell every one of us the truth. And what is the truth? You should not say anything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not say. And la ta'tun nisaa fi ajazihinna. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling us that Allah said, I'm not scared, I'm not bashful, I'm not shameful in telling you people the right thing to do. And part of what I'm telling you to not to do is not to do what? Not to copulate with your women through their back. And through that their back is what? Through where their anus, which is the anal sex. We should not do that. But if it is tajbiha that the muhajirun used to do, so mama wa'idan, they will penetrate their women from the back and still go to the front. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that is very acceptable. Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu said that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told them, La yanzurullahu ila rajulin, Allah will never be merciful with one servant. Ata rajulan aw imra'atuhu fi dubur, that copulates with his wife from the back. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not be merciful on that person. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never be merciful on that person. As Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala mentioned to us. Brothers, lillahi wa rasuli, every one of us, we should detest what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had detested from us, and whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had asked us to do, we should hold on to it so that we can use that as a tawassul to get the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabiyyi ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. We give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has given us this opportunity to be here today. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala count this our gathering as an act of ibadah. In continuation with what we are talking about, the prohibition of intimacy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had prohibited us from. The first one we discussed was masturbation, and the stand of Al-Qur'an al-Karim, I've mentioned it. The stand of our Khulafa al-Rashidun, I tried to mention. The stand of the Tabi'i, I mentioned. The stand of the Tabi'i Tabi'un, and our righteous guided scholars, I've mentioned where they stood. I've mentioned to us. We've discussed the anal sex and the prohibition from what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made known to us. We've discussed it. Now, oral sex. Al-Jinsi Fammowiyyi. Oral sex. Now you are not masturbating. Now you are not doing anal sex. The oral type. Brothers, these are social vices in our community that is now denying us getting tantamount to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The more we are doing this, the more we are going far away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And every one of us, we are being surrounded by these social vices, and they are bane of destructions. Some are so addicted to porns, to pornographic films, pornographic images, that they won't be able to hold themselves, they won't be able to control themselves. Some, they are visual or physical visual expression, physical visual entertainment that led them to all this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us in Surah Al-Mu'mineen, Quran chapter 23, verse 5, or from verse 1 to verse 11, and precisely verse 5, verse 6, verse 7, is based on what we are discussing today. For a man, a believer, to now say the next thing to be done is to use, is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him in his front, to now place it in the mouth of his wife. We've talked about those that are copulating from the back, apart from the tajbiha that we center our discussion upon. The people of Nabi Lut, alayhi salamullah, what they did when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed them, we've mentioned it, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed them. And we are practicing it here today. In some countries, they are passing it into law. That is part of the law that they must observe in their community, in their country. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never let it to be succeeded in this country. Oral sex is just like a man placing his front in the mouth of his wife. Yes, we have different kind of opinions of some scholars that said, yes, it's not haram. And I've explained to us the stand of the jurists concerning haram, what is taboo in totality, what is disliked, and what you can do, mubah, that if you do it, you will not be chastised. But lillahi wa rasuli, brothers, the mouth that we are using to recite Quran, the mouth that we are using to do askar, for somebody to now place his front in front of it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had already mentioned to us the boundary limits that we have whenever. That was the reason why we have been told that if you want to do aniyatu dahil qabla al-khariji with your wife, You need to placate her. You need to cuddle her. If she's the type that you must buy Hollandia yogurt for every night before she will render her service to you, buy for her. Because in that An-Nisa'u harisul lakum fa'atu harsakum annashitum. Waqaddimu li anfusikum. Waqaddimu li anfusikum has two meanings. One, that you need to ensure that your wife is happy with you before you do the normal thing that you want to do. Waqaddimu li anfusikum. You need to do like a foreplay. Waqaddimu li anfusikum. You need to caress her. You need to do kissing. You need to do all this. There are some times I don't want to be saying in public like this. You shouldn't just jump on a woman. Islamically, it's haram. You need to make her understand that emotionally, you need to render a kind of service to me. If she's the type that you must buy aswiya and balangu, you must buy her to make sure that she is ready for you. It's part of waqaddimu li anfusikum. Number 2 of waqaddimu li anfusikum. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that if your woman is ready for you, you need to supplicate so that whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to bless you at that very night, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make sure that shaitan will never have power on whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless you from that night. That is why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us that whenever you are ready for your woman, you say Allahumma jannibna shaytana wa jannibi shaytana mimma razaqtana. Brothers, before you do niyya to dahil qabla al-khariji with your wife, this is the best prayer that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asks us to do. So how can a reasonable believing soul will now pounce on his woman? There are a lot of things we need to do before we do that. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that for the people participating in oral sex, as we've been explaining to us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not have mercy on them on day of Qiyamah. Both anal and oral. You know, we gave an exception concerning masturbation, where it belongs to the haram class, where it belongs to the dislike class, and where it gets to not discouraged class. For those practicing anal and oral, the chastisement that is befitting them in an Islamic society are mentioned to us. And you know what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did for the common Lut? He sent an angel to them. The angel now pegged his wing at the eastern part or at the northern part of the community to the southern part. He now turned the town upside down. That was what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to cleansing the people of Lut. So anybody that is practicing it in our society, Allah might not send any angel to you. But that is where you are also going to end. We have some scholars that said that concerning this oral sex, like Al-Qadi Abu Yahali, he said that placing your front in the mouth of your legally married wife is makruh. He didn't classify it as what? As haram. And it's not mubah. It's something that is disliked. Another scholar said, Al-Qurtubi is a famous Andalusian scholar. He said, it's also makruh. It's not haram, it's not mubah. As far as your semen, you the man, your spermatozoa did not drop into the mouth of your wife, that is just makruh. These are some of the views of some of these scholars. That's their own view. But what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us? وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ عَافِسُونَ إِلَّا عَلَى مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُهُمْ فَإِنَّهُمْ غَيْرُ مَلُومِينَ وَمَنِ ابْتَغَى وَرَاءَ ذَلِكَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْعَادُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly let us understand that with the masturbation, with anal, with oral, all these are belonging into the class of وَمَنِ ابْتَغَى وَرَاءَ ذَلِكَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْعَادُونَ. Brothers, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not tie us concerning An-Nisa'u harisul lakum fa'atu harisakum annashitum, doesn't mean that we should misbehave with our women. There are some sins that they don't have kafara. Khamsatu laysa lahunna kafara in sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are some sins that if you commit them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not forgive you until He chastises you. And you know, the chastisement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of Qiyamah is where? It's just to drop you inside the hellfire. And you know, when we are talking about Al-Jannah, the types of paradise we have and the types of hellfire we have, what we define the hellfire that the person that we enter there will enter, we have mentioned the sins he's going to commit. So, Khamsatun, laysa lahunna kafara. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, these 5 things, if you commit any one of them, there are no expiation. Al-Awwal, ashirku billah. To associate partner with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not forgive you. He will chastise you. Number 2, aqatlun nafs. Killing an innocent soul. All these are Boko Haram brothers, because majority of them are our brothers. Majority of them are Muslims too. But it's just misconception that led them to what they are doing. And that's why I keep telling us every time. If you don't understand any context of Quran, just keep quiet. Go to an alim that knows it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that said, Alif Lam Mim, Zalikal Kitabu La Rayba Fihi, Hudan lil Muttaqin. He left the Alif Lam Mim, Ka Aya Ayin Sod, Heo Mim, Ayin Si Kof, Kof, Nun, Tosin Mim. In the tafsir or in the tafasir, they will say, Allahu Alamu bi Muradi Bizalik. It's only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that knows the meaning of all these alphabets. So, Allah said, I am the only one that know it. Then people from their Ittiyah will now say, Alif Lam Mim, Alif is Allah. Lam is Latif, Mim is Mulik, Ka Aya Ayin Sod, Ka. They will not be defining it. Does it mean that they are more knowledgeable than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He had already said it that Allahu A'lamu bi Muradi Bizalik. I'm the only one that know my intention with all this undefined alphabet. But some people, because of yes, we have knowledge, who give you the knowledge? Who gave you the knowledge? But the person that gave you the knowledge said, leave it for me. But you continue to be defining it. We should not do that. Those that are killing people unlawfully, unjustly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not forgive them until He chastises them on the day of Qiyamah. Number 3, both mu'min, those that used to destroy the personality of believers. Just because of politics, see the way some siblings, they turn the family upside down. Muslim brothers, Al-Sunnah, just because they want to go to the state assembly, they want to go, or just because of one chair, a chair that's supposed to have 3 legs, that has 2.5 legs, they'll be fighting up and down. Their mother will be shouting, hey, because of this mammary gland that both of you suck on my chest, leave this thing. Tell you the elder brother, leave it for your brother, younger brother, Abikarim. Say, no, mother, if we are going to leave it, maybe we are going to meet in Al-Qiyamah. I won't leave it for my brother. They will be destroying their personality. Anybody doing that will never attain the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And for his expiation, nothing he can use except the chastisement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 4, Yamimu Zabira, which we are going to discuss next week, concerning oaths and vows in Islam. That is the next ayah that follows this ayah, the Quran chapter 2 verse 225. Al-Ayman, we have 3 types of oaths. Making oaths, kema bura, adiga terenswa, iru guda ukune sharia Islam yagi amana. Ayaminu sabura, we'll talk it inshallah next week. The 5th one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not forgive you is ukukul walidain. Disobedience to your parents. There is no amount of Quran that they will recite for you. As far as your parents are not pleased with you, you never attain the kingdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And doesn't have any expiation except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to deal with you. Don't you see? Allah said, وَقَدَّى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ. The next chapter is what? وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. Allah doesn't attach anything that is not important to his name. When he was talking about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Inna Allah, me Allah, wa malaikatahu, and my angel, yusalluna ala nabi. Allah see that the angels are valuable, it attach them to himself. He now said, both me and the angel, yusalluna ala nabi, we are supplicating for Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, me and you, our names are not there. But Allah confirmed the successful people with him. Muhammadun Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, wallazina ma'ahu ashiddau alal kufar. Who are the mahiyya that Allah mentioned there? The Sahabatul Kiram. And these are the Sahaba that was some idiotic malams will be saying Abu Huraira is illegal. A reputable scholar in this our country, I listened to it, destroying the personality of Abu Huraira because he was not a rich man. And we can't compare all of them now. Abu Bakr was rich, Umar was not rich, but he was a very strong person. He used his strongness for Islam. Usman ibn Affan was a very fragile person. He hardly talked. That's why they call him Zino Rain. The first wife died. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave him another. Whenever he's coming, if Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam tie is exposed, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will cover it immediately. Why are you doing this? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, afalam asta'i man huwa Allahu yasta'i. Won't I be bashful of the person that Allah and the angels are so bashful of him? Soon I didn't punya Usman ibn Affan, but he cannot talk like the way I'm talking. Who was Zino Rain? He has two lights. And who are the lights? The daughters of Rasulullah. One died, Zainab died, and they gave him Kulzum. So the angels, they used to be bashful of him. Even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to be bashful of Usman ibn Affan. And as we have said, the majority of our women today, they are not bashful. They are not even bashful of you. You see your wife, if they want to give breast to the new baby, in the market, you just, even while walking, you see some women bringing out their mammary gland. And are they going to be wallazina ma'ahu ashidda'u alal kufar? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us of our shortcomings. In summary, yan uwa abinda muka yi magana akai shine batun nisantar mata. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ya yi mana jawabi kuma ya gaya mana cewa abubuwa da zai hana mu aljanna mu nisance abubuwa din nan. Na farko, aya Qur'ani da muka karanta yau, kun san sati da wuce mun yi magana akan wanda Allah ya ce kar mu aura. Bayan haka mun yi magana akan aila na mata, ko kuma duk wanda ya nisance matansa ko ya kusance matansa, domin wani ya zo ya same ni sati da wuce wai Hausa na ba kyau. Ina son ce kusanta, wai na ta ce nisanta. Duk wanda ya kusanta matansa kafin ta yi sarki, bayan jini ma ya tsaya, amma ba ta yi wanka ba, ya je ya kusance ta, abinda zai biya. Na gaya mana batun gold ko? Na gaya mana sati da wuce. So aya da ya bi wannan aya a cikin Qur'ani, suratul Bakara, Qur'ani sura na 2, aya 223 shine muka karanta yau. Akwai abubuwa da yawa kamar a cikin ayoyi kamar guda 7-6. Haka ne zamu yi sai mun gama. Domin da zamu ba mu ma fara gurin ku ba. Allah ya ce su matayenku gonanku ne, ku shiga gonanku yadda kuka ga dama. Ma'ana aya din kenan. Amma za ku shiga gonan ko ku yi addu'a. In ku yi addu'a, ku taba su, ku sa baki mukabala ko duk abubuwa da su ji dadi. Ba wai mutum ya shiga matan shi kaman zaki ba. Za ga wani namiji yana ta dawowa daga ke zuwa da ki same ni a daki, ba ma wasa, ba wani abu, ba wani. Kuma na ga mana in mata, in kai dai kana da wani matanka wanda ya kamata ka siya ma balangu ne kafin ta yarda, wanda ya kamata ka siya ma nono ka siya mata domin ta yarda. In da irin ta ne sai ka bata wani abu kafin ka kusanta da ita, ka san ce alinta kenan. Duk wannan sai mu wasa da su kafin mu kwanta da su. Allah subhanahu wataala ya ce ku su matan ku din nan ku shiga ku kusance su daga baya, amma daga bayan wani iri baya kenan? Daga yadda muke yin bayan gida ne? A'a, yadda muke shigar su daga gaba za mu iya mu shiga daga baya, amma daidai gaban ne za mu je. To da manzo Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ya kai Madina, akwai yanda su matayen Madina su mazajen su suna kusance su, amma su suna da wani fikiri na su Yahudawan Madina, domin su Yahudawan nan ne suka bude masu ido, mutanen Madina, kafin manzo sallallahu alaihi wasallam ya shiga garin Madina. To yadda su muhajirai, su Quraishawa, mutanen Makka da suka zo Madina, yadda suke kusanta matayensu a Madina, a Makka, in su matayensu sun suguna kamar yadda muna yi sujada ko, sai su kwanta, sai su shiga su matayensu daga baya, amma za su zo gaba. Kun gane ko? Shine bayan nan da Allah ya yi magana, ba wai inda suke yin bayan gida ba. yanda su mutane annabi Lutu suka yi. To sai wata da wani namiji na Makka ya aure ta, ya aure na mace na Madina. To yana so ya kusance matan shi. To yana so yanda suke yi da matayen Makka. Kuma su matayen Madina ba su sai wannan ba, muna kira wannan kusanta sunanta ne tajbiha. Na kawo hadisai da ya maganar nan. Sai ta yi bata yadda ba. Washe gari sai ta je gidan manzo Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Da ta kai gurin ta sami matansa Ummu Salama. Manzo Allah yana da mataye guda 13 ne matayensa. Amma ni da kai ba mu isa mu yi wannan ba. In mun kai na 4 sai mu ja birki. Da ta kai gidan ta gama matan manzo sallallahu alaihi wasallam Ummu Salama, ina da wani bayani. Gashi abin da ya faru tsakanina da mijina jiya da daddare, kuma bai yadda ya kusance ni ba. Sai ta ce to na zo a yi mun fatawa ne. Sai ta gaya masa, matan manzo din nan ta gaya mata mijina baya nan, in ya zo suna cikin magana sai ga manzo Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sai zo gidan. Yana shiga gida haka sai matan nan Ansari yakin nan, matan Madina din nan sai ta fita. Tana da kunya. Matayenmu na yau suna da kunya kuwa? Malamanmu ma suna da kunya? Mafi yawanci kuma every time ina magana din nan. Da dama a gurin arewa, amma arewa din mama ya zama wani abu yanzu. A gurin su Yarbawa, kai matayenmu Allah sa gama lafiya ne. Da su su karatu da za su je a salatu ranar Ladi. Zaka gan su wansu za su ma bude kafansu on control. Kuma ga mala yana ce sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Salli ala Muhammad, salli ala Muhammad. Ya bisi mo na amanu wa Ọlọ́run bá forí gbogbo ọmọ rẹ̀ tó wà gbogbo Ọlọ́run bá kẹ́. Salli ala Muhammad. Za su je irin wannan shakiyanci. Shine na gaya mana manzo sallallahu alaihi wasallam bai zama a tsakanin mataye sai dai ga matan shi kusa da shi. So in malami zai yi fatawa da matayen mazajen wansu, ya kira matan shi ya zai zauna da shi domin ba wanda shaitan ba zai yi ta ba. To da manzo ya shiga, matan nan da ta zo ta bincike sai ta fita. Sai Ummu Salama ta gaya ma mijinta ce to ga abin da matan nan ta zo ta bincike. Sai manzo sallallahu alaihi wasallam sai ce a kira ta shigo ya mata bayani. Sai mata bayani sai ke mata to abin da kin zo kin bincika, Allah ne ya sauko da wani aya ya ce wai nisa'ukum arisul lakum fatu arisakum annashitum. Wai matayenku gonanku ne, ku shiga gonanku yanda kuka ga dama. So abin da mijinki yana so ya yi giya din nan halal ne. Ade tunda ba wanda zaki yi bayan gida bane zai shiga ba, amma zai iya ya kwanta da ki daga baya, so maman wa'idan kuma ya zo daga baya ya zo gaban ki. So duk wanda yana so ya yi wannan ma halal ne. Na koya muku wani style kenan. Allah sa gama lafiya. To karatu da muka yi yau kenan. Na kawo hadisai da yawa, amma duk hadisai din ma akan wannan magana din ne. Ba shiga mataye, ba kusance mataye mu daga baya inda suke yin bayan gida. Allah sa mu gama lafiya. Allah sa mu gama lafiya. Inna la ya'murukum bil adli wal ihsan wa ita'i zil qurba wa yanha 'anil fahsha'i wal munkar wal baghi ya'izukum la'allakum tadhakkarun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking every one of us to do good that we know that we must do. As I used to tell us every time, as every one of us knows, every one of us, the position we are occupying today, you should know that somebody was there yesterday. You are there today. What history are you writing? What legacy do you want to leave behind? Some people are writing their own name on top of water. And the more the wave of the current of water is waving the water, the wave is going to wave off your name. It's better we all write our name on a rock. That the more the rock is becoming expanded, the more what you have written on it will become visible. If you are the type that the best thing you can do for people in life is sack it, continue to be sacking them. Allah is also waiting to sack you. You are a manager, nobody has ever been promoted. And you are happy that yes, while I was there as the GM, I sacked 2,000 people. Nobody will promote your own children too. You'll be enjoying it, but how are you going to end? Now this is countable numbers of your mates that are paralyzed now. And they had better opportunity than you. Some did not even have that opportunity. Allah has dealt with them. Some people are inside their house now. Every 1 hour, they must take a drug of 50,000 naira.
and they have been taking it for the past 10 years. Are you better than those kind of people? So everything that Allah has done for us now is an accidental opportunity. Don't let us see ourselves. Ya'murukum bil adli. Within your children, you must be just. Every one of us, we know that Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we know the apple of his eyes among all the 7 children that he gave birth to. And that was whom? Fatima, bint Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Does it mean that he doesn't like all the other ones? Nabi Yaqub alayhi salamullah, Allah blessed him with 12 children. The first wife had 10. The mother of Yusuf had 2. Right from when she became pregnant of Nabi Yusuf, she has been falling ill till she gave birth to him. After the birth, she started falling sick. It was in that sickness that she became pregnant and she gave birth to Bunyamin. Bunyamin was the sibling, direct sibling of Nabi Yusuf. She was not healed. But as Amula Pia Bahar Allah ya cika mata. Maman Nabi Yusuf. Out of all these 11 children, Nabi Yusuf, out of all these 12 children, Nabi Yusuf was number 11. He was the apple of the eyes of his father. Because of that platonic love, you knew what he went through. He lost his sight. And he showed it. It's because he showed it among other children. That was why they ensured that they took away Yusuf, they went and threw him inside the well, and as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted it, he became Azizul Misra. The love we have for the best among our children, we should not show it among other children. They will send that particular children to the early grave. Or they make your own, you the father, the mother, the other children will plot against you and make your life miserable. They will make sure that the pot of your happiness, they break it. They throw away the water of the happiness that is in that pot. Well, it's time that we should do good. Anybody you have opportunity to elevate him or her. Every one of us in the position we find ourselves, let's use it well. You will never be there forever. Use it well. Some people, they are not ready to listen. Some people, they are listening, but the position they find themselves is intoxicating them. Yes, what it is al-Qurba, our family members. You know, I used to say it. Every time, don't joke with your family member. It's not just your wife. Those of you that you arrive Lagos, that where they gave birth to you from, you can't even show any of your friends that you are not proud to show your friends today because you have arrived. Allah has blessed you. You are working in a corporate organization where your father and your mother are living in the village. You can't even tell your friend that this is where my parents are living. You that you not remember your parents, you not remember your sibling because of the small opportunity Allah has given you. Will you even remember your extended family members? Remember the day that maybe it is in the office that stroke is going to paralyze your hand and your leg. That is the cleaner that you don't want him to enter your office that will shout, Oga don't stop in the office. Or you get to the office the following day, you want to log in on your email, they have blocked you. Since yesterday they have sacked you, you don't know, and you are the MD. Countless number of these instances has happened to big giants in the industries. Bank manager that will get to the office and they won't accept. Me, I have seen it in one of my previous places of work before I got here. The workers had to try to maneuver him and carry him through the exit door. They didn't allow him to follow the main gate. Now, if you become useless for himself, where are the family? And all of you have sent your children abroad. The family members, by extension, that are supposed to be relating with you, are not relating with them. You are doing me and my wife alone. Your children is not there. Remember, the day you will be powerless, your health will fail you. All of us, our health is going to fail us. Either you like it or you don't like it. The more we are growing every day, the more our health is failing every day. Some people have been taking drugs now for the past 20 years and they will take it for another 50 years. We are telling you, if you are ready to listen, Allah will not bring any angel. At this point in time, I'm the messenger that Allah has sent to you. And me, I'm telling you. I'm telling myself. Sheikh Abubakar Gumi will not come back. Sheikh Usman Ibn Fodio will not come down. Sheikh Adam Agege in Agege will not come back. Baba Kamaldeen in Ilorin will not come down. All this man that just died in Bauchi last 2 weeks now will not come down. Sheikh Jafar Adam in Kano will not come down. Albani Zaria will not come down. It is we within ourselves that Allah has sent a messenger to us. And the messenger is sent to you at this point in time. As soon as we get out of this mosque, I might not be your messenger again. But now, and I'm telling you, فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداءك أعداء الدين وانصر عبادك الموحدين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكيها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد نبيا صلى الله عليه وسلم. Our security brothers, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to be protecting you. Wherever you leave your family behind, may Allah protect them and protect every one of us. All the new faces among us today, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless every one of you from wherever you come. We that have been here for the past 3 years, may Allah continue to be blessing us. The little we are learning from here, may Allah put barakah in it for us. We that we are saying it, may Allah bless our knowledge. We that we are listening, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless our knowledge. Count it among the act of ibadah that you are going to accept in this world and you are going to put in the scale of preference for us in the day of Qiyamah. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. As Allah has brought us together, may Allah gather us in Jannatul Firdaus. Our economy in Nigeria, may Allah let it be stable and let it be prosperous for us. Our children, Allah guide them on the right path. Don't let them be among the people that we are not going to be happy at the end of the day. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. Those that we are asking that they should go and marry, they are overdue already. May Allah give them the best of the wives. Allah know them and some of us will know them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them the best of the wives. Our country, Nigeria, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stabilize us in terms of security and in terms of our economy. All our leaders that are directing or piloting the affairs of the country, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them the knowledge that we use to take the best decision that will favor every one of us. Whenever we are going to return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah let us return as a wholehearted Muslim, as a wholehearted mu'min. Don't let us die in the state. Don't let us die as a toxic person who will not be happy to return back to you. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. Qumu ila salatikum yarhamukumullah.